By the time you're watching this, Subnautica 2 just released its early access, and it actually makes sense for a game like this. With such an ambitious project taking place completely underwater in an open world game stacked with multiplayer on top of that, it's bound to have bugs and other failures. But unlike a lot of AAA games that release with various bugs and shortcomings but never really fix it, this company has showed us over and over again that it does care about its community and it loves the project they are working on. Exactly like they showed us in the first game, Subnautica 1, where its early access allowed devs to test the ideas of the game and remove balance breaking mechanics, like the terraformer which couldn't even run well on Xbox One, or the glitches like the Cyclops running all the way to the edge of the world on its own. And that's why I said I think this game is going to be an absolutely beautiful disaster, because no matter what type of play you are, if you want a completely polished game with absolutely no shortcomings that runs perfectly well in your system, you are going to get that. Or if you are a player that likes the bugs, likes the funny moments, like the chaos it creates, you are also going to enjoy that. They're just gonna come at different times. And that's why I believe early access is going to be so good for this game. But it does need to deliver. It can't only have early access if the game is not actually good. So what should we expect from this game without getting into too much spoiler territory, and what have they promised us so far? Well, firstly, it's not even taking place in the same planet anymore. The last two games took place on planet 4546b, and this one is going to be taking place in Zero, which is also an ocean planet, but with new hostile surface environment and a new bacterium underwater called a blight, which is slowly corrupting this new world. As the player, after a 14-year cryosleep journey, we're tasked with surviving the planet and uncovering its secrets. Secondly, as it's early access, we won't be getting the full scope of the map or of the narrative, but we will be getting some of the new creatures like those terrifying squids, the Hoarder Leviathan, and maybe even the Shiver Leviathan present. We will also be getting some new craftables like the cutting tool, a biosampler which was tried to be implemented in the first game during this early access, but they weren't able to do so, and even an underwater elevator. Also, as they showed us during various trailers, the base building has been completely revamped, being able to build it piece by piece instead of having set pieces that we can't customize. Even the access how you get in the base has been changed. Also, they brought back something players really wanted, which was a vehicle similar to the Seamoth, which is now being called the Tadpole, and is going to allow various players to ride on it. Lastly, this game implements various viewpoints to the player character, ranging from first person, third person, and even free cam in certain scenarios. But if you're not going to be playing the early access, do not get your hopes up yet, because this game is going to be in development for around 2 to 3 years until it gets its full release. But for those who do, I'm sure early access will prove fun either way. But this brings me onto my next point, the Below Zero warning. While Subnautica 1 was very well received, and it gave you that lonely, abandoned in an ocean planet feel, where there's these bigger than life things going on, and these huge animals and huge biome, and just ocean and depth around you. Subnautica Below Zero provided us with too much biomes, too cluttered, and too many things going on. It didn't give that ocean feel where sometimes there's nothing there with you apart from the ever-endless darkness deep below. It gave us cramped spaces that barely even fit our vehicle, and it just felt like you couldn't really go down paths that weren't already set for you. And this is coming from somebody that actually liked the game. I mean, it was the first game I ever platinumed, but many fans do criticize the fact that it had too much story, and it didn't really make you feel like you were somewhere you didn't belong. So I hope this game sets itself properly. I hope it finds a balance with the solo playing where you feel lonely and like you really don't belong there, and with this new multiplayer which is going to be adding a fun kind of light-hearted gameplay to the game, while also keeping that Subnautica feel where you are in this ocean planet that is trying to kill you. And I do have a lot of expectation for this game because the studio has been through a lot. As you all may know, Krafton now owns Unknown Worlds, which is the studio that made Subnautica, and it had a dispute recently involving studio leadership, control over Subnautica 2, the timing of the early access, and a potential $250 million earnout. And due to this, it ended up removing key Unknown Worlds leaders, including Ted Gill, Charlie Cleveland, and Max McGuire. But later, a Delaware court ordered Ted Gill reinstated as the CEO with full operational control. And that's how, despite all this drama, we ended up getting Subnautica 2 Early Access in May 14th. And that's why I believe this will be the best Subnautica game they've put out. Because despite all that's happened, they've done their best to get this game out, and even the marketing was absolutely phenomenal. I do not remember having this much marketing for any Subnautica game beforehand. The studio are absolute legends for this. Now, as we all like rewards, I'm going to tell you some early rewards you can already get your hands on. Firstly, there's a Twitch drop from the pre-launch showcase, which if you watch Subnautica's live for at least 20 minutes, you get to claim a Seamoth statue until the deadline of June 30th at 11:59 p.m. PDT. It is a base decoration, so go ahead for that if you want it. And separate from the Seamoth statue, because of the fact that Subnautica 2 hit 5 million wishlists before launch, every player is getting a Reaper Leviathan statue blueprint from the early access launch. So those are my expectations. I don't expect perfection with early access, is to be expected. And honestly, I believe the bugs and fixes are gonna be great for me. I'm gonna try to make the most out of funny moments through that. I'll try to set up servers to play with my subscribers, and I think the real issue, if any, is going to be if its foundation is strong enough, right? Does the ocean feel alive? Does the exploration feel interesting? Does multiplayer keep the tension going? Does the world feel worth returning to on the second playthrough? Does it feel like Subnautica, not just look like Subnautica? Those are the real questions that early access will answer. And if that atmosphere is there, I think even during early access, people will forgive the shortcomings. But before anything, I need to work on my own shortcomings, because I currently only have a Mac and a PlayStation, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get any playthroughs out for you guys, but I'll find a way. As always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, leave some feedback down below in the comment section, because I'm not sure how good this video was. It's my first time trying this out.